If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
So, Bristol Dirt happened. So yeah, that was actually a pretty fucking crazy race. Like, that race went a lot longer than I thought it would go. I thought they were gonna call it a race twice with the red flag, because the rain just because it's a pain in the ass to dry a dirt track when it's all mud and rain. But NASCAR somehow pulled it off, and they actually completed the race despite all the weather issues at Bristol. Like, Bristol, spring and bad weather. Name a better combination. But anyway, before we talk about what happened in this race, we're going to talk about the truck race. So, trucks happened this week. The dirt race at Bristol, well, it was kind of tame, but a little chaotic at the same time. Mainly, the race was dominated by Ben Rhodes, and despite any best efforts, though, from Carson Hocevar at the end, it just wasn't enough, because at the end, Carson Hocevar looked like he had it, and we all thought, we're going to get a Carson Hocevar win? Racing Gods? Nope, fuck that. Ben Rhodes wins. So yeah, Ben Rhodes, the reigning Truck Series champion, ends up getting his first win in his title defense season at Bristol Dirt. Honestly, well-deserved win for Ben Rhodes, actually. He actually ran a really good race. You know, he almost won the race last year, fell short. This year, he gets it done. So yeah, Ben Rhodes in the fall, he'll have a chance to defend his Truck Series title, as he is now officially in the chase. There was really no doubt Ben Rhodes is going to be in. But yeah, can Ben Rhodes go back-to-back? Something that hasn't been done since, when was the last time a Truck Series driver went back-to-back? I think it's gotta be, almost, maybe Bobby Hamilton? I'm not sure. It's been a while since we've seen a driver win back-to-back championships in trucks. But yeah, Ben Rhodes will be back in the Truck Series chase this year. And of course, the one interesting moment we had in the truck race was that incident between Matt DiBenedetto and Austin Wayne Self, where Austin and Matt were just racing each other hard, and then Austin taps Matt's rear bumper, and somehow both trucks get stuck together. I'm just looking like, what? How in the fuck did you get your back bumpers locked up? Like, goddamn, I can't even hate Matt DiBenedetto for that. I'm not even mad at Matt for that. That's fucking impressive from those two, because that takes real skill to somehow pull that shit off. You know, hey, that's Bristol, baby. Crazy shit happens at Bristol. But yeah, so yeah, Ben Rhodes gets the truck win. Now the Cup race. Well, this Cup race was a shit show, but it wasn't as big of a shit show as it was last year, because, dear God, last year was a fucking shit show and a half. But yeah, overall, much of this race, the main dominant cars of this race, it was mainly the dirt rainers that were the class of the field, like Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, even Tyler Reddick. You know, even Suarez had a really good car when he got up there on pit strategy after stage 1 by staying out. You know, tough break, though, for Chastain, who blew his engine right at the end of stage 2. You know, hey, Briscoe had an up-and-down night, having the flat tire while leading with Kyle Larson running them down, which led to Larson winning stage 1. You know, and then, of course, some Suarez stayed out on track to gain track position, and Briscoe also got that track position back on pit strategy. And then after stage 2, when the rain came, we had the most confusing clusterfuck there was with the officiating, because Kyle Busch and a number of cars stayed out because the rain was coming, and they thought, oh, if they stay out, they would get the lead and maybe the win. And then NASCAR's like, no way, Jose. It's Chase Briscoe because the field was frozen at the end of the stage break. So yeah, it was pretty confusing what the hell was going on. I was like, who the fuck is the leader? To be perfectly honest, it should have been Kyle Busch that was the leader during that red flag. But Chase Briscoe just somehow gets the lead back because of some technicality in the rulebook that we haven't heard of. But the fact that NASCAR needs a whole 1-minute explanation to explain what the hell is going on, that's not really a good look for NASCAR. When NASCAR doesn't even know the fucking rules themselves. It's like literally the last page of the NASCAR rulebook says all these rules are to our discretion, which means these rules don't mean jack fucking shit. and we're just going to make them up as we go along and just manipulate it to get the outcome we wanted. But when they did finally get back going, Kyle Busch ended up being scored the leader, but it didn't last long as Tyler Reddick was able to go 3 wide right on the restart to get the lead with an aggressive move there. But Briscoe, Bell, and Larson, they all had to go to the back because they all pitted and a number of cars stayed out trying to gamble on that, trying to gamble on weather and trying to make it to the end on fuel without stopping. So yeah, a lot of pit strategy happened despite the pit stops being uncontested and the field being frozen. So yeah, and it really being hard, and track position really being key at Bristol, since it's really hard to pass at Bristol, and it's mainly whoever has the high groove is gonna fucking win. But yeah, in the end though, we had a number of cautions throughout. It looked like they were gonna call the race with 28 to go, when Reddick was still in, at least with 28 to go. That race, that one at least didn't have any controversy, and we knew what the hell was the running order, unlike the last one. Yeah, to be honest though, that red flag issue with 100 to go after stage 2, Kyle Busch should have been the leader, but he kind of got screwed because of a technicality. But still, Reddick, he ends up with the lead, but NASCAR decides, nope, we're not done yet. NASCAR saying they're not finished. And the fans waited their asses out here all night, they're going to give them a good finish. So when they finally did get back going, and to be perfectly honest, NASCAR, they actually learned from last year with their terrible track prep from the truck heats last year when it was absolute dog shit. Because they actually did a good job with the Packer cars trying to pack the dirt down so it doesn't fucking fly everywhere. You know, other than that one issue early in the race with the fucking dirt flying up and clogging everybody's front grills, NASCAR throwing the caution to make sure everybody got clean. That was a good call, and then after that, it really wasn't an issue the rest of the race. Now, I thought that issue was going to happen again after the 2 red flag restarts, but that issue didn't happen once the dirt was rubbered down and it got packed on. And really, I think vision was still hard to see with the dirt flying in the air, but at least it wasn't as bad as last year in the daytime. Honestly, nighttime is better for dirt racing than daytime. So yeah, there's that, so there's a plus there. You know. And in the end, though, it ended up being a battle for the win between Reddick and Chase Briscoe. Reddick freaking for his first career win. Briscoe looking for his second win of the season. In the end, it was a really good battle between the two. And then we get to the last lap, turn 3, where Chase Briscoe would full send it and do a fucking slide, try to attempt the slide job on Tyler Reddick. And they both take each other out. And then through all of that, all of that ends up leading to a Kyle Busch victory at Bristol Dirt. So yeah, Kyle Busch 100% backed into this win. So yeah, Kyle Busch gets his 60th career win. Kyle Busch becomes the 9th driver in NASCAR history to win 60 or more races in their career. The next driver ahead of Kyle Busch on the all-time wins list is Dale Sr. And oh, you think the booing for Kyle Busch after this race was bad? Just imagine how much of a meltdown the community will have if Kyle Busch ends up tying Dale Sr. on the all-time wins list. Especially from those fucking boomers that keep saying NASCAR died with Dale. Yabbles. And also, Kyle Busch ends up now with winning one race in his 18th consecutive season, tying Richard Petty for most consecutive seasons with at least one win in the Cup Series. So that's Kyle Busch ties a NASCAR record held by the King Richard Petty. Shit on Kyle Busch all you want. Kyle Busch proves he's a talented driver. He's easily a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know, it don't matter what the track surface is, Kyle Busch just finds a way to win and back into wins. So yeah, to all the Kyle Busch fans, you can't say that you can't accuse anyone else of backing into wins when Kyle Busch does it himself. So yeah, Kyle Busch, what was that about Bowman backing into wins? How do you explain tonight then? I guess Kyle Busch fans will just say, right place, right time. But yeah, you know. And yeah, and all the Kyle Busch haters, keep saying it's the car all along. Keep saying it was the car that made him good all you want. At the end of the day, even if it was the car, you still gotta have a talented enough driver that can get the absolute most out of that said car. And make no mistake about it, you look at Kyle Busch's career, he's gotten the most out of those said cars that, quote, make him so good. But yeah, Kyle Busch, he gets a win, and he locks himself into the chase this year. So yeah, honestly, you all thought Kyle Busch was gonna go winless this year? Oh, you're so foolish. We've all drank the Kool-Aid on that before. And I knew Kyle Busch was gonna win a race eventually. I think Kyle Busch is winning at least 2 races this year. I'm still sticking by that. Honestly, Kyle Busch should have won Vegas, but yeah, just bad luck cost him there. And bad pitch strategy called by Ben Bayshore. Plus the HMS brick wall happened. But yeah, and the lights go out here. Yeah, it is kind of funny that Kyle Busch still got booed for that whole thing. And let's be real, Kyle Busch literally got booed for doing fuck all. He did nothing and still got booed. It's like, it don't fucking matter what Kyle Busch says or what he does. The fan base is still gonna shit on him regardless of what happens. Like, literally, Kyle Busch could suck up and kiss your ass and suck your dicks all he wants, and the fans would still boo him and call him a douchebag and an asshole for something that happened 10, 15 years ago. All because Kyle Busch's personality rubs at least 95% of the NASCAR community the wrong way. And don't even lie, because you all know it's the truth. Anybody that says it's not his personality is lying to me, lying to yous, and lying to themselves. And that's a fact, Jack. And let me just be clear. I am not a Kyle Busch fan in any way, shape, or form. If you know me for anything, I've hated the bastard for over a decade. I just give credit where it's right, where it's fairly due. You know, and even though Kyle Busch backed into this one, he still had to put himself in the right place at the right time. But yeah, Kyle Busch fan, at least now Kyle Busch fans can stop fucking complaining on Twitter for fucking once and actually fucking be happy. Fuck me. I like to see Kyle Busch fans complain and cry, but at some point it gets fucking annoying. But hey, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes the bad guy wins. And honestly, at this point, with how the fans treated Kyle Busch tonight, Kyle Busch should just fucking not change at all. Just fucking stay the same, man. Because it just proved that it don't matter what Kyle Busch does. Kyle Busch will still get shit on regardless. Like, Kyle Busch could literally get down, suck Chase Elliott's dick like this, and the fans would still boo him and call him a douchebag. Now, I'm not even kidding, because that's how I see most of Kyle Busch fans. You can disagree with me all you want. That's okay. I'm alright with that. I'm just calling out how I see it. You want to know why I'm so hard on the fan base, though? It's because I want the fan base to fucking succeed. Because I've seen the fan base act better than they have been the last couple weeks. Especially after Coda with the whole Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch thing. I've seen the fan base act better than what I saw that day. And it kind of gets damn frustrating. So yeah, sometimes you just need to give the fan base a metaphoric boot in the ass for them to wake up and see the error. But yeah, you know, everyone has their opinions and they're entitled to it, so oh well. But yeah, still, even though Kyle Busch won, it was still a good race. It was honestly a way better race than that shit show last year. Last year's race was utter dog shit. Well, this race was still a shit show, but it was a lot better than what the fuck we had last year. But yeah, and I know, and with Kyle Busch winning though, just like that, every single NASCAR fan now hates the Bristol dirt race, and now wanted to go back to asphalt. And here's my question for every NASCAR fan that wants the spring Bristol race to go back to asphalt. Are you actually going to show up for once? Because this picture right here from spring Bristol 2019, this image right here is the main reason why the spring Bristol race is now a dirt race. Because fans aren't going to show up. So if they make it an asphalt race, are you actually going to fucking show up or not? Because if you're not going to show up, then what's the fucking point of going back to asphalt? Like, oh no, I think Kevin Harvick did nail it perfectly. No, the ratings are going to fucking tell for sure if the dirt race is going to stay for long term or if it's going to be gone in a year or two. And let's be real, this is the only way Bristol will ever have 2 dates. Because if the dirt race fails, Bristol's losing the spring race. Because Bristol has had massive attendance issues in the spring race since, like, what, 2016? Like, 2016 was when it was absolute worst, and it continued to get worse there with the fans not showing up. And a lot of the races in this decade have been plagued by weather. Like 2014 had a bunch of rain delays, ended under a rain yellow checker that night. 2015, rain again. 2016 didn't really have any weather. 2017 and 2018, the race got pushed back to Monday. And last year, And 2020, though, that 2020, we don't count that one because that one was in June with better weather. So yeah, maybe if you moved the first Bristol race to June, then maybe you would have no weather issues if fans would show up more. But yeah, and then last year for the dirt race, they had to postpone until Monday because of rain. Yeah, and a lot of rain. But yeah, and if you compare the 2019 image to what we had, 15, 20 years ago with the fans in the spring race at Bristol, kind of a damn tragedy with all those empty seats. The amount of empty seats we saw in 2019 was fucking disgusting. That shit made me want to vomit. Especially since you compare it to the night race at Bristol. The night race usually sells the fuck out in the fall than the Bristol night race. Because I'll be honest though, that race honestly gets advertised a lot better than the spring race. Plus, a lot of fans view the night race in the fall as more of a crown jewel event in NASCAR because a lot of drivers want to win that race. It's a lot of people view it as a crown jewel, even though it's technically not, but let's just pretend it is hypothetically in their realities. But yeah. Still, if the dirt race fails, be ready for Bristol to lose a date. And honestly, Bristol should go to one date and only run the night race. Because yeah, the attendance the last few years, it's the reason why the Bristol Spring Race is now dirt. Plus that race last year had better ratings and a better attendance despite plague capacities than every spring race from 2016 to 2019 combined. And that's saying something. And, well, this race still had a bunch of empty seats, but, it is what it is. I think a lot of people just, because the race was on Easter, and you also had fans complaining about racing on Easter, even though they've raced on Easter 11 different times in NASCAR history, and this being the first time since 1989. But I guess NASCAR fans just want to find something to complain about. And for NASCAR fans complain about running on Easter, let me mention this. USFL played on Easter today. Nobody complained about it. MLB played on Easter today. Nobody complained about it. NHL played some games today. Usually it's the playoffs around this time. Nobody complained about it. NBA playoffs always around this time of year. They play games. No complaint about it. Hell, I think MLB even plays games on Labor Day weekend and 4th of July in Canada Day. Nobody complained about it. What else? Oh yeah. NFL also plays the games on Thanksgiving. Nobody complains about it. Hell, even NBA has played games on Christmas along with the NFL. Nobody complained about it. Even fucking New Year's, they played on New Year's and nobody complained. And even New Year's Eve. Even playing games on Christmas Eve, nobody complained about it. NHL doesn't know, but who really cares about that one? But yeah, and also, didn't NASCAR run a cup race last year at Road America on the 4th of July that Chase Elliott won? And did NASCAR fans complain about running on the 4th of July? In a shocking turn of events? No, they didn't. So one question is, how come you won't complain about 4th of July racing on the 4th of July? That's okay. But racing on Easter? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Too far. You can't do that. That's against religion. Because at least a vast majority of this fan base are Christians that believe in the resurrection of Christ and all that religious shit. And, being a fellow Christian myself, I'm not really big into religion. I've only gone to church once in my entire lifetime. I'm a terrible fucking Christian. But, everybody has their religious beliefs. But hey, at least, those Easter chocolate bunnies go on sale tomorrow on Easter Monday. So at least you got that. But yeah, I think a lot of NASCAR fans just fucking complain just to hear themselves talk. It don't matter what the NASCAR does, the fans will find a way to still bitch about it regardless. It doesn't matter what Kyle Busch fucking does, too. The fans will still shit on him regardless. Kyle Busch said it perfectly. Kyle Busch said that he felt like Dale Sr., and he was still getting booed despite doing nothing. He isn't wrong, because Kyle Busch actually didn't wreck anybody in this race. He just let the top two wreck each other, and Kyle Busch just happened to be in the right place at the right time to back into it. But yeah, honestly, why should Kyle Busch change his ways? It doesn't matter what he does. The fans still shun on him regardless. And to be perfectly honest, he's had a really good career being the greatest heel of this generation in NASCAR. So why would he change something up that obviously works for him? What's the old saying? if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, I guess that only works as long as NASCAR fans approve of it. But yeah. That's just my take on it. Just like, yeah. Honestly, Kyle Busch should just stay the way he is because he isn't going to win with the fan base either way. Fans are going to shit on him until the day he finally retires. No, by the way, if Bristol does lose the spring race, it'll more than likely be the Nashville Fairgrounds. Or North Wilkesboro, since Wilkesboro's coming back in the future. Maybe. At least for grassroots and maybe trucks. Xfinity and Cup, don't push your luck yet. Don't push your luck there yet. Maybe, but that track needs a lot of work. Like if North Wilkesboro's going to be back on the Cup schedule, it's going to be at least 5 years before that track is even close to the standards to run Cup. You know, maybe Rockingham, but I think more than likely probably Nashville Fairgrounds. And I think there's a way they can have Fairgrounds and the Super Speedway coexist. Just have them spread out at different points in the season. I mean, if they can solve the traffic issue and the parking issue at the fairgrounds since it's located in the middle of a suburban area, if they can get all those Karen ballsacks to shut the fuck up about noise, then I think they can do fairgrounds 100%. I would have suggested Iowa and Milwaukee, but I don't think the weather's good enough that time of year in the Midwest for that, so I don't know. I do think those two should be on the schedule for sure, but they should be later in the season. Probably like in the summer when the weather's better. But anyway, still, what a crazy race at Bristol. And we got more craziness next week with Talladega on the horizon. So yeah, anyway, on to Talladega next week. See y'all later. I'm out.